Hello, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Donna.
We're here sharing what we've learned as women, entrepreneurs, and moms.
All while rocking our curves with confidence.
It's a behind-the-scenes look at our lives and businesses.
And a chance to tell our younger selves, go do the things that scare you. So let's talk about how we came up with Nucking Futz.
Okay. You want to know?
I want to know.
Well, you suggested I do a real estate podcast, and I was like, no way.
You totally should, like Cody Sanchez style, you should do real estate. Because there's so much about real estate that, you know, people are afraid to ask or unsure, like don't realize all the workings behind it. And yes, I still think that should be on your radar.
I know. I think it's hard because having the experience from before and coming back this time, I have a very different outlook and approach to it.
That lens, that perspective that we talked about.
Which is great for the time it is, right? But I'm very, it's not a bad thing. I don't really fluff a lot of things with people. And I think people want to hear fluff right now.
Straight shooter.
Yeah. And I don't want to be like fluffing everything. No. It's like, if you don't want to listen to me for advice, or you called me in for a reason, right? Like you called me in, I'm telling you what I think. And then you're like, no, this is what I want to do. I just don't have the capacity to work.
Well, because you can sit there, you can want a number, and you can sit there forever and ever and hold that house, right?
I said to someone the other day when I sat with them, I said, I'm not here to market your house for 12 months. I'm here to sell your house.
Exactly.
If you want me
to be real, and you are very real.
Well, thank you. And if you want me to market,
we sat down with a spreadsheet and we did all the houses and we did all like the square footage and came up with an average per square foot, and it was bang on to the numbers that you were saying. So that's the math brain behind the feeling, right? Like, you know your numbers, and I think that's great. And there's so much value that you bring to the real estate world. I 100% think you should get your... It's
a hard one too, because like, you've known me forever. Like, and I say that out of everybody that I know, you've probably known me the longest. So you knew me when I was a realtor. You knew me with Brag About It. You've known me selling Zaya. You've known me owning the hockey team, and you've known me coming back. If you met me when I had kids, I would say over 8 years old, and I was selling jewelry, you would never have known I sold real estate. So coming back this time, people were like, oh, why would you pick real estate as a career? Like, I had never done it. And I was like, I was a realtor. That was my career. That's what I did for 8+ years. Like, that was my life, maybe 11 years. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's weird. Like, it's weird. And when I tell people, well, I think
people have a preconceived notion about realtors that, right. Like, and some of them are that preconceived notion, but not all of them are, right. And you are definitely a total honest character, and
so sweet.
Hardworking, and call it like you see it, right? You're a no.
Well, I remember working with Sean, and I remember showing Sean a house, and you had seen it, and then you were like, "Hey, Sean has to see it after." And I remember going through this house. I don't remember the name of the street, but I know the house backed onto Donovan Valley Parkway, the trail.
Like Wyatt.
Yeah, somewhere over there. And I remember Sean was working, and I remember showing him at night, and he said, Melissa, when we started in real estate, we had options. Like, we could have chose to deal with anyone. He says, but we chose to deal with you. And I'll never forget it. These words like stuck with me. He goes, is because you're honest and you tell it like it is. There's no BS with you. And I was like, thank you. I'll never forget that. Yeah. There was vermiculite in the attic in that house.
I remember that house.
See, and that's the house. Like, we saw it different times, and he said it, and I was like, wow, that's a nice compliment. So thank you. Yeah. But I would love to do one, but I think that maybe people don't want to hear it, but maybe they should hear it. So if you know me, then I'll tell you. But so maybe one day. Not right now. It's still a lot, right? I think that, it's hard. It's hard to tell people what they don't want to hear. And when it comes to your home first, because it's a home for a lot of people, but for me, it's also an investment.
But I do think it helps people going into the process knowing ahead of time, like, okay, like, this is the reality, right?
And it helps. I think it does. And I think
Real Housewives of the real estate world. Melissa.
What? That'd be a great show. Because I'm Housewives. I love Housewives of everything. But I think being in real estate then and having to deal with markets then helps me today, because I see a lot of realtors out there today that don't understand true value. And a lot of them that I've come into contact with maybe got their license just prior to COVID, during COVID. During COVID, you didn't need to know value. Your house would sell itself and would sell itself for like thousands over asking. So you didn't go in with a condition. You went in over asking. You were 1 of 10, 1 of 15, 1 of 25. And now people are like, they're not used to that. But it's crazy, because when I started, I sat with so many sellers and I sat with buyers and I said, listen, a home should sell for 96 to 98% of asking. It will be on the market for 45 to 60 days. I said, at which time, if it's not selling, then we're going to sit down and reevaluate. And people expect now a home to sell overnight. They expect it to sell over asking. Like, again,
thank you, social media.
Yeah,
instant gratification.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's even like, I think I spoke about this before, but I showed a house on Wednesday night, and beautiful townhouse. And it had been originally priced at, I think, 1.2. They reduced it to $999. Went to show it. Agents like, Melissa, offer presentations tomorrow or whatever day. Maybe it was on Tuesday. Offer presentations this day, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, well, I don't think my clients will be bringing an offer, but keep me posted. I get a message, one of offer, 2 offer, 3 offer, 4 offer, 5 offer. And I'm like, this thing's going. Told my clients like, I ain't competing, blah, 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 blah. The next day I get a message from the agent and he says, there were 5 offers last night. The seller didn't accept 1. And now we're doing a price adjustment. We're increasing the price $150,000.
Playing games. Yeah.
Like, what the heck, man? Like, that is not knowing value. If it didn't sell at the $999, it ain't going to sell at the $1,150,000. Like, people see value. Market value is determined by buyers and sellers, right? Like, it is so out of whack that it just boggles my mind.
And that's why you should do the podcast.
Right?
I know. Those people are listening to that guy who's telling them, right? That's a game. That's playing games.
It's a game, but you know the sad, on the other side of that, which I don't think many buyers or sellers, well, my buyers know, sellers should know, but on the listing, you pull up the history of a listing, it will show every change. Price
adjustments happen.
Like, what does that say about your listing? So it's frustrating. Like, I sat with someone one time. I did an open house for an agent. This house was on the market for almost 11 months. The amount of changes in price point from high to low to back up, I felt so bad. Like, I felt so bad for these sellers. They're not my client, but that does not look good on your end. So no. I think just, I'm very honest and
strategic.
Yeah.
Right? Like, before we listed the last one, we strategized a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's different markets and different, right? And what is your goal? Yeah. And
Yeah, but you also understand real estate.
Yeah.
Which is a huge benefit in doing business, right? But some people, this may be their first buy or first sell after buying in a high market, and they don't know. And unfortunately, if you bought in that market, oh my gosh,
that desperate market,
it's
of trying
crazy.
To get something. Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad to me. It's sad to me because there's a lot of people selling from a financial stress point. If you're buying now, it's fantastic. It's just the seller on that other end of it. It may not be great to work with. So, it started.
So there's lots you can teach. Lots you can teach on there.
Thank you. So, you asked me if I wanted to do a podcast, and I was like, no, I don't think people would want to hear me. And then you're like, would you do a podcast with me?
I've had this idea for a couple of years. It's been sitting there brewing and, kind of like, hey, what would you tell your younger self being at the point that we're at now? How do you get through some of the things you get through? And that, it's a crazy ride, but it's okay. It's a good ride, even though it's a crazy ride.
But as soon as you said it, I was like, 100% I do it with you.
We're both entrepreneurs. We've been through lots. We're both mamas. We've been through lots in that front. We're both curvaceous babes, and that's a whole journey on its own. Yeah. So, I feel like to our younger selves, this is what we would tell you about.
Just go for it, right? Go for it. Just go for it. And it just felt right. I know for me in business, I've always said it, it's a feeling for me. Not everyone has a feeling. Maybe you're more number driven than me, but for me, it's always been, does this feel right? I know. But to me, it's like, does it feel good?
Yes.
And yeah, it felt good. It's like when I started real estate, it felt good. When I started Brag About It, it felt good. When we made the decision to buy the hockey team, it felt right. Like there's...
Well, and this idea, right? Like it's been sitting with me for a few years, and
thank you.
You know, so it needed to find a friend, and it did find a friend.
That's awesome.
And then when we talked about the name, so originally I'd wanted Fight Club for Women, or
I still think it's a great name, and I still think it's a great like avenue to expand on.
And as entrepreneurs, like we'll have lunch and we'll have, you know, business meetings, and that's what you kind of feel like, right? You were fighting to get through. You're out there hustling and making it work, and you know it's a tough day some days.
Some days it's really hard,
right? And you're fighting to get there, right? So I like that idea, but then my Bailey said, you know, what about Nucking Futz? Because you guys are a little Nucking Futz. You kind of got to be a little Nucking Futz. And I was like, oh, I like that, because I'd used that with Carter back when he was, I think, in grade 9 to do shirts, because I thought it was just a funny name right after. And then you and I are sitting there, and I said, what about Nucking Futz? And you said...
Yeah, I love it. My grandmother used to say some funny words like that. And my grandmother would always say, don't get so smucking fart. And I'm like, Grandma, why are you swearing? She goes, well, I'm just a little Nucking Futz. And I was like, as soon as you said it, it just was like, again, a feeling. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Yeah. So I think it's a perfect podcast name for the both of us. Yeah. I think it describes us. We do stuff that people would maybe think are little... Nucking Futz, but we do it and we have a good time. So
we do. It helps to be a little Nucking Futz to get through the day.
Some days a little more than others, but totally. I love that we have that name, and I love that it's ours, and I love that we can do this together. So super excited.
Okay, so in this, one of the big things that is, I think, a resounding is shutting down negativity. Like how what triggers what. You know, moments of it, those kind of things. So let's talk about, you know, because it impacts us so heavily.
You said you've been affected by some negativity, and I was shocked.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked.
And I think that speaks a lot to, you know, living on Instagram highs and Facebook highs and TikTok highs. You know, that highlight reel does not show what people go through.
No.
On it every day. And you know, how depressing would it be if everything was a negativity reel, right?
100.
But I think that the messaging is that everybody has it. Everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless you're really super lucky. But like there's
I doubt that.
Jobs, there's people, there's family, there's, you know, like just disease and stuff like that. Like there's, so finding ways to deal with it and know that you're not alone. And
it's hard for me to understand that, though. It's hard for me to understand that because I don't ever look at anybody in a negative light. Like, I don't know. It's weird for me. So when I'm, say, scrolling, let's talk about Instagram. When I'm scrolling through Instagram, I don't really look at anything negatively. Like, I don't know. It's entertainment purposes. Some of the stuff is great information purposes. I see, like, I don't know. I see something in everybody. So when someone starts, I think I do see the negativity, but I'm like, what the fuck is this person talking about? Like, why would you say that about somebody? Why would you talk to someone about I just don't get it. I don't understand why it's someone else's business. Like, why is it your business to do that? And you had said that you had dealt with something with you, like, on social media too, like people make negative comments and I was like, really? And then literally, like, I swear to God, the phone was listening. Within like 2 or 3 weeks, it might've been an algorithm listening. I don't know. I posted something on my real estate account and it was like, well, if you, I was talking about the real estate market and I deleted it right away because I'm just like, whatever. Like, I just didn't even want that on there.
Imagine being the person that thinks that's okay to say to someone.
Yeah. They were like, well, if you lost 20 pounds or 25 pounds, then the real estate market would be different. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. And I screenshotted it and I sent it to my husband. He's like, who's this person? Who's this person? And I'm like, I don't know who the person is. I know. I'm like, I don't know who it is. But I was just like, what the heck, man?
I know.
Like, why does what I look like or my weight have any impact on the real estate market? And like, it was, okay, I did care. This is probably
you do care.
I do.
We're human.
It was probably the first time, though, I can honestly say that I really didn't give a shit. I think I cared for maybe like half a second, because I did screenshot, like I did do a screenshot. I sent it to Paul, and then I was like, you know what? Delete, because I don't even know who the hell you are. I don't even know why you would take the time to post it, and you're gone. Like, I don't need that in my life.
So many thoughts on, like, you know, part of me just wishes we could just create a troll account.
Yeah, we
and
should
troll these real negative people and just like, you know, and okay, I know that's like the little kid in me, like, let's go fight in the sandbox.
That's okay. I'm the same. I'm like, okay,
right. And when you run a business, okay, like there's lots of things you want to say, but you can't say because you just can't. You would be canceled so fast. So that's where ChatGPT comes in as my friend.
So like, good for that.
How do I say this professionally
without sounding like a crazy?
No F-bombs, please. You know,
make this professional in the tone that's like me, but not so rude.
You know, and you see it all over social media where these, and I don't know if they're all bots, but a lot of them are humans, and they just degrade people. Yeah. And you're like,
but degrade for the whole spectrum.
I know. And like, why? What is the value in that? Imagine the world we could live in if we were kind to each other and supported each other instead of bringing each other down. Like, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Total douchebags.
As Paul says, keyboard warriors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you can sit there behind your keyboard and do that. Like,
would you say that to someone's face?
Yeah, would you? I doubt it.
Some people do, but
some people do. Yeah, and some people have.
Burning down right now. But yeah.
Some people have, though. Some people have say it's hard. It's hard. I think it's hard to be curvy. I think it's hard to be a bigger person. I think that has stopped me a lot in my life. Probably stopped me more than I'd want to admit it.
I feel ashamed to say this because I let it win. Yeah. But we were shooting a video clip the other day, and I had these coconut bars that we got from Costco. So we always, when the chubby girl owns the business, there are always treats in the lunchroom, and these are called, I want to say they're called Unwell, but I don't know why they're called that. They're chocolate covered coconut little bars, so they taste like little mounds. Oh, I want to say they're protein, which is my justification for eating 900 of them. Yeah, right. But they wouldn't be unwell; they would be well. So I could be wrong.
I think I've heard of them actually.
They're from Costco.
Yeah, so, someone else talked about them.
So I was grabbing one, and so it was a funny video we were doing about being back to school, and I had a book, and I had these, and I said to Bailey, I said, maybe I shouldn't do these because someone's going to comment about me being chubby and eating chocolate.
So and she's like, horrible, right? That thought.
And it is. Like the fact that...
Why can't you be yourself?
Yeah.
Like, why do we worry about what someone else is going to say?
So I didn't record it with it in it because...
Really?
Yeah. And I feel bad about myself for taking it out.
It's okay.
But I still ate it, so...
But you're talking about it? Like, you're still talking about it?
I know, right?
And you ate it. That's no surprise.
These are things that stop us.
They are.
Like, these stop us.
It's like when I went back for my branding shoot, like for real estate, I was so worried about what I was wearing and like what I look like in it. And I just, like, even when I got my photos, I was like, I posted the one photo and people were like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. That's so nice. And I had a lot of support and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so. I can see my double chin. I can see my stomach. I can see all of it. And it's like, why? Like, why can't I see what someone else sees? And why can't I love it as much as someone else loves it? Like someone who truly like is supportive and loves it. Like, why do we see all the little imperfections when other people don't see that? Then you have the assholes that see it and want to tell the whole world and give you a whole speech on it. And you're like, whatever. But I don't know.
Opinion to yourself. Yeah. I heard the most beautiful poem the other day, and I found this girl, Josie Balka.
Oh, she's amazing. Amazing.
Did you hear her poem about chasing skinny?
No, but I probably should, but I follow her.
I know. And I don't know if it's a new one. I had never heard it before.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. And it
I
was
just
like,
followed it from our account.
oh my God, she's reading my mind, right? Like we spend so much time.
Yeah.
Because people have said negative shit to us that just messes with our minds. And it's like, you know what? If the worst thing in the world I am is chubby, I've won.
100%.
Right? Because I could be a
serial killer.
Insert bad word. Starts with a C. Rhymes with punt.
Yeah.
You know? And not, and like, right?
I think I'd rather be chubby or fat or curvy, whatever you want to call it, than be the person that's on the other side of that token. Right? I don't know.
It's just like harsh. And I mean, hey, it's not just chubby girls.
No.
Girls, like girls,
yeah. Everybody gets
it. There's a class that, you know, people judge
everything
so harshly, and it's so wrong. So,
it is.
You know, part of what we do at She's Got Legs is about body positivity.
Yep.
It's about kindness.
Inclusivity.
Very much. Like, and, you know, are we perfect? No. Nobody's perfect. But all our models are us. Like, they're head office. They're our stylists that come in.
All ages.
Real people. And I remember getting a post once, like getting a comment on one of our things. And Mama Bear mode kicked in because it was like a negative comment. And I'm like, you know, these are
real
our people and their mothers and their daughters and their families are reading these comments. And like, really? Is this necessary? Like, how cruel. Would you want your daughter to get a comment like that, or your mother to get a comment like no?
Sister or brother, whoever. Like, it's horrible.
Who taught you to be a douchebag?
It's hard though. Like, you wonder where it comes from. You wonder why people are so negative towards certain things, and whether you're in a bigger body or a smaller body or a taller body or a shorter body or a different color.
Body,
like,
you know,
like where do you have the right to say that sort of stuff? I don't know. It's for me, it's hard because I think it comes like personally where it comes from, not the negativity, but negativity towards myself is from growing up in like the 80s and 90s. And it was like heroin chic, right? Like maybe that's not even the right word to use, but tiny bodies, supermodels, Cindy Crawford,
all
Christina,
the magazines,
like
right?
Fashion television, man. I used to watch fashion television.
There were no chubby girls.
No.
There was nothing out there.
And it's hard to grow up in that. And I was tall. Like I was a model in like grade 5. Let's go way back. We're going to be like that. Oh, no, so I was a model in grade 5, but I was never tiny. Like I wasn't a thinner model. I was the tallest model. I was like, I've been this height since like grade 5 or 6, which is crazy to me. Right. And I think the first time I ever experienced, you know, you asked me the other day, you're like, think about the first time you ever experienced it. And I had to think about it, and it took me a day or two because I've experienced it a lot, negativity towards myself. And I can remember it was maybe grade 5 or grade 6, and we were going on a skiing trip. And at that time, we had to weigh ourselves in front of the rest of the class so they could record your weight for...
I would be sick for a month.
Right? And I was like, when did I feel that?
Fitness days?
Yeah.
At school?
Yeah. Well, track and field, forget it. Like, I take play day over track and field.
I can't believe I would be mortified.
And I remember standing on this. I remember everyone going, and I remember everyone was like a smaller weight. And I remember standing on it, and I think I was 92 pounds or 97 pounds. And I was like, oh my God, I am the fattest girl. You know how I would. I think my left leg weighs 92 pounds. But I was like, I had to think about it. And I was like, did I really feel that when I was young? Like, and I was like, no. And then I was like, holy shit, I did feel it. I remember that. I remember the library. I remember everybody weighing in. It was like grades 6 to 8. So there was like everybody and just like, come weigh in. And I remember going, okay. And I stood there and they said my weight. And I was like, what? I think I was like 25 or 30 pounds heavier than every other girl in my class. And I was like, it just sunk my stomach then. And I thought about it and I was like, that is the moment where I was like, holy shit, now I'm worried about my weight. Like that young. Yeah. So to be that young, grade 5 or 6, and to think, wait, but again, it was a generation where it was about being skinny. It was about being the smallest you can be. And it's horrible. We as bigger people and bigger bodies did not have the same representation as we do today.
No.
So that is where I love social media for that.
Because it really has.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the okay, we're just tired of trying to be skinny.
Yeah. But it's also like, this is us. Like, there's more people in the world like us. You think you're the only one.
I'm a good person, and I contribute a lot, and I'm chubby.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time it affected you? Or
yeah, it's probably grade 5 or 6, and I remember standing at the sink in my mom and dad's house, and my grandpa coming up and pinching the back of my arm.
Oh, grandparents, how lovely.
And saying, "Oh, you're kind of chubby," and I'm like,
what? And you never thought of it once until that moment.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, I've always been a chubby girl. I was a very severe asthmatic, and I took a lot of steroids, right? Hey, I can't run. I can't.
People forget all this stuff that you go through at every age, whether you're going through that so young, whether you're your first set of hormones, whether you're pregnant, whether you take a medication. And then as we get older, we have all these other things that go on, right? So
I remember grade school, we had to run around for gym. We had to run around the schoolyard. And I'd be like a quarter of the way through, and I'm tasting blood.
Oh, my God.
And that was the asthma. I can't breathe.
That's
I
nuts.
can't breathe.
Nuts.
Right? So I loved getting to high school. I didn't have to take gym. I could take art.
I did take art.
Gym was my least favorite subject for sure.
What's crazy, but I didn't enjoy gym. Don't get me wrong. I didn't enjoy gym. I don't think I enjoyed a gym until I was 10 years ago, honestly and truly. But I played basketball and volleyball. I played sports, and I played sports because I was the tallest person. The tallest person in grade 5, the tallest person in grade 6. You're going to be center. You're going to be this.
Alona Meyer.
Yeah. She is amazing.
She is so much for body positivity and so much for...
I wish I had that when I was younger.
Exactly, right? That role modeling that not... You're not... And it's so many different... There's so many plus size models that are out there saying, it's okay. Just live honestly in your body. Yeah. But I do think Alona has magnified the story so much, and I love that.
I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. She's amazing.
Yeah,
I think she's done a lot too, and I love that she in all of her social media, she just doesn't give a fuck. Honestly, she's whatever, dancing with the stars.
Calling them out on the BS. Hey, come on, be better.
You look back and you think I would love to have been that weight today, but. I think just the time I grew up, and I think the time and place my parents grew up, it was never so much my dad for me. It was always my mom, which was hard. And I think that came from my grandfather, because he was so focused on weight and size and that sort of stuff. And I can remember going in to visit my grandfather, and then my mom being like, oh, your grandfather's going to say something because I gained weight or something like that. And then it trickled down, right? It's hard. I try to go back and think of it, and probably in the last couple years I've really just said I don't give a shit. And not that I don't give a shit because I want to be healthy, right? But I don't really give a shit that this is the body that I'm in, because I am healthy and I love who I am and I love what I do and I'm proud of the things I've done. And if this is the body that it happens in, perfect. Even better.
And if you want to go run a marathon, fine, go run a marathon.
100%.
Not everybody wants to run a marathon.
You know what? I did lose a lot of weight.
I love to swim, right?
I know, I love swimming too. I used to swim all the time. But I lost a lot of weight, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I think for me it's hard because I lost a lot of weight right after my father-in-law and my sister-in-law passed away. And I was thinking about this, and I lost probably about 150 pounds, and I felt great, right? And it's
do, right?
Yeah.
How can you not?
I really feel good? Everyone's like, oh, you look so good. And I'm like, well, what did I look like before? And at that time, Paul was sick, and we didn't know he was sick, and he was losing so much weight. And people kept asking him, oh, are you on the same diet as Melissa? And he's like, no, I'm just dying, and I don't know why, right? So it's hard, when people lose weight, right? You never really know why. But I didn't realize why I lost so much weight until I moved. And I sat back and I thought about it. And I think it was my way of dealing with the grief and living in a house that the grief came from. It was my way to escape from that. It was my way to be away from it all. to see my husband going through what he was going through. It was my time away. Like, I was working out 4 or 5 days a week. I was walking in the morning, walking at night. I was counting calories. I think I was eating less than 1,000 calories a day.
Probably felt like you could be in control of something.
Yeah. And I think it was. And to think about it, like, I've really thought about it, because it's hard, like, to gain a huge percentage of that back. And you're like, what
for
the
a chubby
fuck,
girl
man? Like,
is when
what
you've
the
lost
hell?
it and it starts coming back.
But I think it's because I was running away from dealing with what I really had to deal with. And then when Paul got sick, it was like I didn't have that control. And it's like I didn't really care, because I cared more about being there for him, being there for my boys, being a mother, being a wife, taking care of things in the house. And it was like I didn't put myself first. And not that I didn't put myself first. It's just that wasn't where my heart was. My heart was dealing with Paul and dealing with the kids, right? So I really believe that it was my way of dealing with everything. It was my out. So, yeah.
And I do think a lot of people, like, I have a girlfriend, when she gets super stressed, she can't eat.
Oh, I'm not like that.
I think I'm opposite.
Same with me. I'm like, what gummies will I be eating tonight? Or what chocolate bar will I be eating tonight?
And part of it is just the awareness that is impacting you.
Right.
Right? Like, okay, am I hungry, or am I just stressed? Am I super sad, or am I, like, really starving?
But realizing it and understanding it. And that's the most important thing out of that all is understanding and where that comes from. Like, I know when I'm tired, you could give me a bag of candy and I can go through. But now I'm like, I'm tired. I'm not going to eat the candy. I'm just going to close my eyes, or I'm going to go to bed early. So I do realize it. But then sometimes I'm like, fuck it. And I eat the whole bag of candy because I want the whole bag of candy, because I don't really give a shit. I'm like, no, whatever, man.
As soon as someone says no, I'm like, oh yeah, watch me.
It's hard.
Rebel comes out.
It is hard to go through that.
And I think, these little moments in time, like, I can, my brother always used to tease me. He was an older brother, and he ran cross country, and like, he was athletic, and I'm like, oh my God, right? So of course it was friction and whatever. I remember my funniest story is when you had the phone and you had the big long cord and whatever. So, like, he's on the phone and he calls me an ox, and he's standing there. I kick him in the nuts. He goes down for the count. I start running, and I'm like, I'm so tired of you calling me names.
I would be too.
Yeah. So that was my
I don't know if I dealt with it. Like, I think it came from,
not that violence is an answer.
But sometimes it helps, especially when it's a family member, and you can do that when you're younger and get away with it, because when you become an adult, you can't. But I never had an issue with my brother. I think it always came from my mom. Even most recently, I hate saying it, but even most recently, probably in the last 3 years, I've told her, if you're going to talk about weight, I'm not going to have a conversation with you.
Interesting, because I don't remember my mom. It's male. My dad.
It's
my
funny,
brother.
Mine's all mom.
Interesting.
But like I said, I keep it from my grandfather, I think.
As an adult, I'm at a family picnic with little kids, and I'm out at the swing set. Aunts and uncles, right? Like, everybody. I'm out at the swing set at the end of the yard. It's a country setting, so it's a big yard. I'm on the swing with the kids, and I'm just swinging, whatever. My uncle yells across, Donna, don't break the swing set.
Oh, my God.
I was like, stopped, like the earth had stopped. I'm like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Could that be more embarrassing?
Yeah.
Like, I was ready just to
what the hell's wrong with you?
Dig a hole and crawl into the earth.
Yeah. Well, I was out to dinner with a couple.
I was in tears.
I would have been too. I would have been like, this is horrible. Like, it's like when I went out to dinner with that couple, and we're sitting there, and Paul goes outside with the husband, and they're having conversation, and she feels the right to look at me and say, sometimes weight, like, sticks to people, and I'm like, yeah, I know. And she's like, maybe you have an internal issue. And I said, oh, you're talking to me? And she's like, yeah. She goes, maybe it's a medical issue that you have. I go, maybe it is. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Like, you think you have the right to say something like that to me?
Do you think there's anything that makes a person feel
You invite me out to dinner. You invite me out to dinner. Then you talk about my weight. Then you order appetizers. I didn't even order the appetizers. And then you're ordering like 3 appetizers. I'm like, lady, man. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? But I don't turn around and talk about you smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. But I can if you like me to. Like, I would never, and I think it's probably because I felt the effect of it, and you're probably the same. I would never say anything to anybody. It's even like having
that
the
just
kid.
Hurts so much.
Like, how do you not realize, even having kids, I vowed whether I had either sex, I would never, ever, ever talk about weight with my kids. And I probably have in facets of it. I probably shouldn't have. I don't like saying things like, oh, it looks like you've lost weight. And I've said that to my boys. And then I kind of like, shit, why are you saying that stuff? Like, don't say that. I have one son that likes to work out, and he's always like, oh, I can see myself in the mirror. And then I'm like, oh, Lucas, looks like you've lost weight. And he's like, I have. And I'm like, oh, that's good if that's what you want, right? Like, I have to hold back my tongue because I think it was so fluid in my family, right? And it's like, oh, it bothers me. But even like having the players on the hockey team sometimes, right? And they come in all shapes and sizes and heights and whatever. And sometimes they're like, oh, I wish I could lose like 20 pounds to go faster. I'm like, listen,
don't waste your wishes.
Yeah, don't even. Like, just do it because you love it. And that's the thing I try to tell my kids is that if you want to work out because that's what you want to do, not because it's going to change you. And I can say, as hard as it was to lose the weight, as much as it burns me that I gained the weight, the one thing I learned from working out then, because I never did it before, was that I love to do it. And if it taught me anything, it taught me that I love lifting weights. So I do go to the gym. I do lift weights, but I do it because I like the feeling. And I like the feeling it gives me. I could be this weight forever and I could work out forever. I just like the way I feel. I feel strong. I feel powerful. I don't need to lose weight to go lift weights. I just like the way it makes me feel. So I thank that section of my life for teaching me that I love it. But what I've learned since then is I do it because I love it. Not necessarily to lose the weight, but I do it because I really love it and the way it makes me feel. So,
and it's a struggle, right? Like, it's always a struggle.
It is. Yeah, I think that it's taught me that I do love working out. And I do. And now that when I work out, I go to the Y in Oakville. It's a great place. And I get to go with my son. And he teaches me a lot now. So I'm always like, hey, can you teach me this machine? Or can you do this? And he'll be like, Mom, no, correct your form like this or do this. And I always like, I go to one machine. I stick to the same 4 machines. Like, I have the same routine every time I go. And I'm like, can you?
But that's a great thing to do with your kids.
It's so awesome. I love it. It gives us time to talk in the car. Yeah. We talk there. We kind of josh about some certain things, we laugh about some certain things. There's a guy in the gym one day, and I don't know who he was talking to, but you could hear him through the whole gym, and he was like, fuck this and this and that, and you made me lose $1 billion. And Lucas looks at me and he's like, I don't even have $1,000, but yeah. I was like, he goes, Mom, what do you think he does? I'm like, ask him. Who cares? Ask him. Yeah. Like, ask him. What are you afraid of?
Would you lose $1 billion? Yeah, dude.
And then he came over to Lucas and he goes, I'm really, really sorry for that. And I'm like, it's okay. I get it. I sell real estate. I know the market. I can tell you what kind of market we're in. So Lucas was there the last time and he's like, I'm going to ask him. I go, ask him. I go, maybe you get a job out of it. You never know. Maybe you meet somebody. Yeah, like, you don't know. Ask the question. What are they going to say? Oh, I can't tell you. Okay, well, thanks so much. Right? Like, yeah, but I love the fact that I can go to the gym with him. And he asked me to go to the gym. So I like the time we spend there. I do like the quiet time. I like the way the weights make me feel. But like I said, I don't do it.
I'm allergic to exercise.
But you swim.
I love to swim.
Right? That's exercise.
Yeah, but I look at the queen. Like, she didn't go to the gym.
The queen.
So I'm like, she's my role model. And I swim.
There's Donna in the pool.
Yeah.
Swimming by.
So, there's so many facets around body image and negativity. How do you deal with negative personalities in, like, the real estate industry or on a hockey rink? Or
tell them to fuck off. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hockey parents, like, that can get real. Like, situational.
It can. I don't deal with it. No. I don't deal with it. It's not my area I deal with, but we've had a couple situations where we've had parents get really mad, and we just deal with it outside of the arena. We remove the parent. Yeah, we remove the parent. We talk to them, and then we communicate fully, and we look at all sides of everything. It's important. They will get to speak their side. We will talk about our side. And what it really comes down to is if you have an issue with something that's going on in the arena with the team playtime, you need to speak to the coach. And that's we direct it to the person that needs to deal with it. Paul and I don't really deal with that side of it because we're not there enough to deal with it. Yeah, there are some crazies in the arena. Like, honestly, I hate saying that word, but there are, and it's just...
Well, yeah, it can get, like, so over the top.
It's just like, why are you acting like that? Do
and
you
there's
not
kids
know?
watching, right? Like, you're role modeling.
Not only kids, our stuff is streamed live. You can hear it on the live stream. Like, people know who you are. It's not like they don't. Do I cheer? Yes. Am I one of those crazy parents that cheer and get excited for the team? 100,000% I cheer for those players. If this is honest and true, if it's negative, I do get my back up and I want to protect. So it is hard for me. I have a hard time restraining, but usually I just walk away. And that's where Paul's really good. Paul's like, Melissa, just walk away from it and not deal with it right now. And when everybody cools off.
Take the emotion out of it.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. I have to be honest, because Lucas is on the team. And when we're in that setting, I'm owner. And then when I'm home, I'm parent. So I always say to Lucas, I'm talking to you from a parent perspective, and that's where I'm mama bear, and I want to protect him, and I don't want him to feel the feelings, and I want him to be able to talk to us about the game, and all that sort of stuff. But sometimes I'll say, Lucas, this is from the business side of it, and I have to deal with it like this. So it's really a really hard situation to be in as an owner and a parent to the player on the team. But when it comes to the team, we don't make any decisions for the team. It's the coaching staff that makes the decision. So if player's not playing, it's the coach's decision. If a player doesn't come and doesn't get played, coach's decision. If Lucas is a goalie, if he wants him pulled, it's the coach's decision. We don't make any decisions regarding anything to do with the players. We remove ourselves totally from that situation. We are the business side of it. We're the marketing side of it. We're the social media side of it. We're the paying bills side of it. We're the all business side of it. So
creating
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's so hard. It is.
And what about in real estate? Because real estate's a different mindset, right?
I haven't really dealt with a lot of negativity in real estate, I don't think, or maybe that I've even been aware of. I think for the most part, I've had a very, very good experience as a realtor. Knock on wood. I'm going to say that, and like this weekend, it's going to be crazy or something like that. Clients. It's if I don't.
You have such a way with people, right?
Thank you.
So, like you can.
It's hard for me because
and that's a special skill set that realtors have to be able to work with all the different personality types that are out there.
But
there's not just one.
But I do think that I'm aware of that, and I do say to a lot of people that is why there's different people in this world selling real estate, because you may not be a good fit for me and I may not be a good fit for you.
Yeah.
You may not like the way I do business. If a client ever said to me, like, I want to cancel the listing, I will cancel the listing. I don't want to work with someone that doesn't want to work with me. Mm-hmm. It's the same that goes for hockey. If a player doesn't want to play for us,
I'm just going to put this out there, but there's another reason for you to do your real estate podcast, because people get to know you.
Yeah, that's true.
Putting that out there.
Maybe.
I'm going to have to say, for me in the work world, I sort of through the years, like I've had an incident in my early accounting years where I worked with a girl and she actually took the job that I wanted. What? And it was kind of like one of those backstabbing kind of moments. Oh. And I was, I had thought we were friends and we were talking about it and we were both working on our CGAs, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but she got the job. And I was like, okay, this is a lesson to learn. Like, be careful what you're saying and who you're saying it to. And that one kind of shook me early. And then later on, I remember it was kind of like we talked about values and making sure that like your values are there. And it wasn't actually who I was working with, but it was her husband. Very narcissistic. Ugh. And, very involved with what was going on, and got to a point where I would just like, I had to shut it down. I had to shut it down and like, no, we are not being disrespectful and rude. And this is not what we're about. We're not how we're talking. And like, no.
That's awesome.
So, almost so like, did it change the world? Yeah, it did. It was,
Yeah, but maybe it needed to.
It did. Like afterwards,
right?
It was such a relief.
Yeah.
And I realized, okay, this is not in alignment with the values that I represent.
Good for you.
And it was like, there were, it was one of the most difficult things that I had to go through.
You deal with it a lot, I think, though, because you deal with so many people in an organization. I've never really worked in an organization. I've always worked for myself. Mm-hmm. So the only person that'd be negative is me, self-talking to myself. But yeah, I think maybe you deal with it a little bit more.
And it speaks to that realization of what's okay with you and what's not. And setting up those boundaries and being able to say, look, no. Like, no.
It's crazy, though. We can have boundaries in business, but then we can't have boundaries with ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that, like we were talking about balance last time. And you said to me boundaries. And I'm like, you're right. It's boundaries that I have, not necessarily balance, right? So for me, yeah, I think I do set up more boundaries in my business. But I also don't think I give to someone unless I feel it back. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel I have like a gift for like relationships. Like I can make a relationship. To keep them sometimes is harder because I do feel I'm transient in them because I'm dealing with so many people and facets. Mm-hmm. I try to establish relationships with people, and some of those will foster and grow, and some of them will just die off, which is fine. And I understand it's in the moment, but I always try to give it everything, and I try to not have negativity in that. So it's easy because I'm dealing with myself and I'm dealing with one person. Mm-hmm. And if someone on the other side of it, whether it be real estate or hockey, is negative, I'm just like, hey, time out. Let's have a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see if it aligns. And if we don't align, then maybe it wasn't meant to be. But to have to deal with like staff or employees or partners or coworkers, like when you and I started this, I told you, this is the first partnership I've ever had. So for me, it's different, right? I've never really worked with anybody as an equal. Yes, clients are my equal, but they're easy to...
Yeah, since the get-go.
Yeah, never.
Right? Like as a realtor, you're on your own. Where I worked in an office environment for years and years. Yeah.
Maybe a realtor I've had to deal with, but I don't even think so. I'm just like, this one, whatever. You do your business that way. It's just not how I would run my business. That's what I chalk it up to in real estate. I'm like... You run your business that way, that's not how I'm going to run my business, right? So,
and I think looking back, that's what I would tell my younger self is, hey, it's okay to say no.
No.
Right? Protect yourself.
Yep.
Set those boundaries, and it's okay to say no.
It is okay to say no. I just feel like, it is, very much okay to say no. But for me, I don't know. It's something that I don't think I've really thought of and dealt with. I think I've dealt more with that in personal relationships, negativity, than in business. But
which is good.
Yeah, thank God. But in some ways, it's whatever. You know what? Those people are the people, like I said, we talk about it. And
again, if we spent more time lifting each other up instead of tearing people down, right? Like the world would just be a kinder place.
It would be. 100%.
Drives you Nucking Futz, man.
It does.
Some strategies of silencing self-doubt and responding to self-doubt. That's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah. How do you deal with it?
Okay, like even going into this podcast.
Oh, I know. You said it to me.
There are so many moments of self-doubt. Like, why am I doing this? What do I think? Blah, 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 blah. You know, you sit there. You go in and out of it, in and out of it. And again, do the things that scare you.
Yeah.
Do the things that scare you. So years ago, when we were doing a renovation, my girlfriend said to me, hey, you should do a TV show. Yeah. You be so funny on a TV show. And my response was, chubby girls don't do TV.
That's a crazy thought to think.
That was where I was. And then I had this thought. I can remember it. We were at the Shenstone Motel. We were in just outside Wyerton for the Wyerton Willie Fest. Awesome. I was there with 3 girlfriends. And I woke up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, wide awake, thinking of a TV show called Road Trip Renos, where you go from one motel to another motel to another motel, and you renovate them, and it becomes a road trip. And I was
that's
like,
a great idea.
I know. I loved the idea.
It's your idea. If anyone's listening, it's Donna's idea.
But then my girlfriend said, oh, did you hear about the June Motel? I think it was the June was their first one. And I was like, no, tell me about it.
Cool.
And so they were on HGTV. I was like, well, okay, that's kind of the same idea. And, and then, I went back to that self-doubt. I think it would, be great. And all those little motels that have, and they've done a great job.
So many.
They've got 3 properties now that they've renovated.
They do.
Right? Like what a journey that would be, just going, into the other. But, as much as you do and as much as you're out there, like my face all over social media with She's Got Legs and but you always have self-doubt. Especially when you get like a negative comment, right? And as much as you try to put on that armor, there's always things that
even creating a post for social media, it's like, do you post it, do you not post it, do you, like, why wouldn't you post it, like, what is stopping you from posting it? And that's what I said before. For me, it's like, you know what, I don't really care. I'm just going to post the things that make me feel good, that represent who I am, that share with the world who I am. And if you like that, then you're my people. And if you don't like that, unfollow, move along. Because I just don't have time for that.
Exactly.
I do not have time for it. And I do not want to make time for it anymore. I don't want that in my life. I don't.
It's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence.
Yeah. See you later, my friend. Skip along, whatever it is. And I think that's like, it's hard with social media. I think social media has made it harder. And before, like, okay, we're probably from the Facebook generation, so a little bit older than some people, but Facebook was a big thing. And I remember even just posting pictures of me and my kids on there. Like, I can tell you, I probably don't have more than 100 photos from the time my kids were born, maybe the day they were born, because it was a once in a lifetime thing, up until maybe about 6-7 years ago. I don't have any photos with me in them. And then I'm like, why? Like, now I'm like, why? Now I make an effort to take the photos. Now I make an effort to do the things, because you know what? I want those photos, because one day they're going to be doing their own thing and it's going to be like, do you remember that? Yeah. And I was available for that moment. So someone doesn't like it, see you later. But doubt does crawl into my head a lot.
It does.
Every time I go to post, I'm like, do I do it?
You show up and you do it anyways.
You do. It's like filming. Like today was sitting outside here and I was like filming a little video about like coming in here for number 2. And then I'm like, do I do it?
Which does not mean a poo.
No. Podcast recording too. But I'm like, do I do it? I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Why? Because the people that really the people that get us will get it and will appreciate it and will like it and will be like, share it and like it and support us and encourage us. So those are the people that I want in my life, and I think those are the people that are important. Goes back to friendships. When we talked about friendships, I think that's the same thing, right? People that really support you.
It trigger because we do a couple of things. We do where She's Got Legs, we do a boot camp in January, and one of our weekly challenges for them to go live. It's the one they all struggle with because of self-doubt. Yeah. But with that, one of my most heart-filling stories is we did this road trip called Dessert with Donna. And so we went to PEI, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland in a week. We did the 4 provinces in a week. Sean had a work thing that took him out there. So I tagged along. I said, this is what we're doing. He goes, there's no way we can do all that. I said, watch me. And we did. Watch me work. And so it was like, okay, book dessert with me. I'm buying ice cream. I've never eaten so much ice cream in 1 week. It was glorious. But so the last one was Newfoundland. And so we got to Nova Scotia and I was tired. I was like, okay, like, do I want to go one more? Yes, I want to go one more. So we went, had a good sleep, met with them, and the one girl was terrified to go live. So I said, let's go live right now. Let's do it. Yeah. And so we did. We were sitting on a park bench outside the ice cream store, and we went live. And she sent me a note after, and it just filled my heart so scary, much. Right? And of that whole trip, like, you know, if I hadn't done that last stop, I hadn't, right? Like, you know, you gotta.
That's the support we talk about, having someone in your corner.
And it's just like, she filled me up so much.
That's so nice of you. It's scary. It's scary to go live. I remember having to go live my first time. It's like why I don't go live in my real estate. Because I'm like, really? Like, who's going to watch me? And do I really want to talk about that? And what do I look like? And do I look like everyone else that goes live? And I'm like, ugh. But it's just so crazy that you should just do it. Like, do the things that scare you.
Yeah.
And when you do the things that scare you, there's this little thing inside of you that goes,
I did it.
yeah, and you feel it. Like, it tingles inside. And you're like, fuck, I did it. It's amazing. I'm going to do it again. And it just keeps building on that. So, yeah, good for you.
You know, building that, giving tools or support or encouragement to help others feel better about themselves. Like, there's nothing ever wrong.
Oh, I think that's also why we do this. Why we're doing this.
Yeah, it is.
Is to show people that you can be us. You can look, not be us, but look like us and do the things and not be scared and be scared. Because we were scared to do this, man. Like last week, we were like, do we just read this or what do we do? Like, can you get out of the room and like, can we just do our thing? And it's just, you go with it, right? Yeah. It's important to go with it.
You don't have to have all the answers.
No, and you shouldn't. I think if you have all the answers, that's actually more scary. Right? Like if you have the plan, it's like, yes, I read over what we wanted to talk about today. And I'm like, I'm just going to talk from the heart, because when I talk from the heart, I feel it's better. If I have a plan, I'm like, okay, well, it's got to talk about this and I got to talk about that. And it's got to be so structured. And I don't really talk like that anytime.
No. Yeah.
It's like I go back to that story. And I don't know if I've talked about it already, but I remember dealing with this one client and it was a referral. I think it was like my first big client, like way back when I started. I got them a rental in this beautiful house downtown Burlington, and then they wanted to buy a house. And I think he was the CEO of a company. And anyway, we would go out and see homes. And I remember getting off the phone with him one day and I was like, okie dokie, I'll talk to you later. And Paul turned to me and was like, why are you talking like that? And I'm like, talking like what? He's like, okie dokie. He's like, do you know that guy's like a CEO? And I'm like, like, and I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, but why are you talking like that? And I said, because that's how I talk. And so I showed these people homes, and I think it was probably around New Year's Eve or Thanksgiving, and we put together this deal. And I had to have paperwork signed, and he was at an event that my friend's family was throwing. And so I went over there. And we sat down and we signed the paperwork, and we were leaving. And he turned to me and goes, okie dokie, Melissa, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And Paul looked at me and I was like, okie dokie, right?
You got the power.
It's just who I am. I don't think I really change who I am around people.
No.
But I think that a lot of people do. And it's okay if you do. That's just who you are. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I just am who I am. Mm-hmm. And I try.
You just live more authentically when you do. Like, if you look on social media, any of our me on a video.
You're awesome. I was watching you this morning. I'd be honest. I was watching you this morning.
I know. I'm not on social media because I'm all over social media. So, but like, you got to be authentic.
And you can make mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you make mistakes, it's better. Okay.
So we were doing our launch. I want to say it was the last launch of a year. So like December 1st, because we don't launch on the 15th. So it was December 1st, standing there, doing the spiel, talking about it because it's live, talking about the leggings. And I look down. I'm in the wrong leggings. I'm like, oh my God, like disaster, right? Yeah. So no, I didn't change in front of the camera, although that was probably a fear of everybody. But
no.
But yeah, right. Like that is real life that happens, and people connect with real. Yeah. Like,
you want a robot? You want someone that's so perfect all the time? Like, then I think it's if you try to be more, it's probably not the grammar, but if you try to be perfect or a certain look or a certain way, then people can't really relate with you because you're not really being yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, I think if you're more real and you're more honest and I see you upset or I see you crying and I see you happy and you're out there showing it, to me, that tickles my heart in a good way. I'm like, wow, this is a real person in real life doing real things. That person is like me. I have feelings. I am human. I have good times. I have bad times. I talk proper sometimes, and most of the time I don't, right? I swear a lot. Like, I really don't really give a fuck. I'm just like, this is who I am. But I think that when I see that and talking about representation in social media and stuff like that is where I'm like, that's what I'm attracted to. Mm-hmm. Are those people.
And like, She's Got Legs. Like, we keep it real.
Well, think of that.
We are us. We are all different body shapes, sizes, ages.
Yeah.
you know, and our stylists do all their own, right? It's them.
How good is that for business, though?
Right? Like it's what keeps us real. It's what makes us who we are.
People can see themselves in you.
It's the heart of what we do. So I love being in a place that has that positivity, the inclusiveness, and having fun. I am very much a person about having fun.
I know you are. Halloween's coming up.
I know.
Halloween's coming up. Yeah. Oh, girl. So fun. What would you tell your younger self about that? Like, about everything we've talked about? Negativity,
self-doubt.
It's going to happen.
It is. And I think that's a huge, like,
it's
especially,
normal?
You know, you come out of grade school and other than like the name calling, but those things that happen in grade school,
those are foundation.
They are. They stick with you for a long time.
It's like, where do these kids get it? Now I don't even know, because I think
it's so much worse.
I was going to say, I don't have kids that age, right? So for me, I don't know. I don't know how it would be. I know my kids had trouble in school. They had a lot of trouble. Not in like that they were in trouble, but they had a lot of negativity towards them. It was hard. It was hard to see that. It was hard to see the tears. It was hard to feel that as a parent. It's hard to turn to them and say, well, it's not true. These people are just asses, but they're kids. Like, it's...
And I think every generation has that.
I just don't know how it would be today, because I don't have littles, right?
Like social media and all that. Like, I think it just amplifies it all.
Yeah. It's too much in your face. Like, you go through social media and it's right there. And I don't know the age limits. Like, for us, it wasn't like, probably too young for some people, but my kids couldn't have a phone until they were 13, right? That was probably way young for people then. Now kids are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old with the phone. So they're on Instagram. I don't know. Like, they're a TikTok generation, and I'm not a TikToker. Like, I know nothing about TikTok, but
it impacts. Like,
sure it does.
You know.
And to have access to it. Like, to have that access, or to be with a friend that has the access, right? Because they're going to find it. Don't get me wrong. They'll find it at any age.
At any age.
So I don't know how it would be different. I think
that's where communication comes in.
Yep.
Like, early on, you got to be chatting about stuff. I was very open with my kids.
Same with us.
About
we
stuff,
still are.
right? Like, you got to talk through the hard stuff. And remember sex ed with my son. I can picture us sitting in the little eating area at Selby. And him on the chair with his knees tucked up, like making himself as small as he can be, his baseball cap tucked down over his eyes, and I'm reading out of the sex education book, and I'm like, do we need to teach these kids this stuff? Like,
I didn't have a problem with that part. I didn't have a problem. It's funny. I didn't have a problem with that part. I've always told my kids sex is normal. Sexuality is normal. To feel those feelings is normal.
Yes.
I don't And oh my gosh, I have a funny story about that.
Right? You don't want them not to know things and find things out the wrong way. So, yes,
I have a funny story about that. So you talk about saying the right things to your kids. I don't think anyone says the right or wrong things. I think you do what's best for your family, right?
Generally say the wrong things first.
Well, maybe yes, you could. Maybe we could. But I always say to myself, and I was taught, you do what's best for your family, right?
Yes.
So if it means leaving a soother in the mouth till they're 5, that's what it is. If it means not, wearing a diaper till they're 5, whatever it is, it's what works for your family. So I remember this is when I was first in real estate, and I was sitting in the resource room, and there was another agent in there, and we had kids similar times. And she's like, oh, like, have you talked to Nathan yet about like private parts? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I just tell him this is your penis, or girls have vaginas. And she goes, you say those words? And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you? Like, that's what they are, right? Like, it's nothing to be ashamed of. She goes, yeah, I made that mistake. And I said, what happened? And she's like, well, she has 2 girls. I have 2 boys. So she's like, I told her to call, like, we call it her buddy, right? And I'm like, buddy? I'm like, buddy? Like, buddy. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever you want to call it. My grandma called it like a poopsie or a petunia or rosebud or something, whatever you want to call it. My friend's cat's name's Poopsie. My friend's cat, his name's Poopsie. And I'm like, oh my God. My grandma used to call my vagina Poopsie. And she looked at me and she's like, well, I told her to call her buddy. So she goes, my husband's friends were over, and she's like, they're leaving. And she says, give your dad's buddy a hug. And she was like, oh, Mom, that's gross. Why would I hug your buddy? And I was like, that's why you call it a penis. And that's why you call it a vagina, right? Because there's nobody named penis or vagina that I know of. Maybe today. But I was always.
Was Willie.
Willie, yeah.
Called it his penis, the Willie.
Yeah.
So the first time the kids met a Willie, it was interesting.
Yeah, for sure, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't know. Like, you do what's best for your family in the moment. And that's what was best for them. But for me, it was always like, no. Excuse me, I'm going to call it that. This is what it's going to be. I'm going to answer the questions about sex. Like, it's a natural thing. I think the scariest thing for me, though, was when my girlfriend, we're similar ages, and our kids are like 1 year apart. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, mine being the oldest and her being the youngest. And we were out, and she's like, oh, yeah, I got to go buy condoms today. And I'm like, for what? And she's like, to put in his nightstand. I go, for what? And she's like, so he has them. I'm like, why? And she goes, Melissa, you don't think so? And I'm like, now I'm thinking. I'm like, holy crap. And I was just, what? Grade 8. Yeah. Like, oh, mine was a little bit older than that. So I was a little bit late for that. But I was, oh my God, really?
I had a therapist tell me, she goes, do you want to be a grandma? I'm like, no. She goes,
yeah.
So we had a cookie jar down in the kid level.
Yeah.
And it was full of condoms.
Smart,
and I said,
right?
I don't know if you ever need it, if your friends ever need it, but it's there.
Scary times. Like, different generations and different ages for our kids have always been scary. But for me, it was that. Like, that to me, like, triggered, oh my God, my boys are men. Mm-hmm. Like, they're men.
They can populate.
Holy moly, what do I do? And I was like, girl, you're brave for going out and buying that stuff. Because and I looked at her and I was like, I never thought you were that kind of mom, but maybe I should be that kind of mom too, because... Well,
and I wouldn't have thought of it unless someone had said it to me, and I'm like,
crazy.
Yeah.
But smart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I tell my younger self about self-doubt, negativity, like we talked about, I would tell them the same thing. It's always going to be there. Don't be afraid of it. Maybe deal with it. Maybe, like, deal with it in a different manner than I had to deal with it, right? Or you, like... It will be there. Learn from it. Learn now from it, because you have to realize it happens all the time. It's happened for generations, but it's how you deal with it, right? And it will happen for the rest of your life, right?
And don't carry it alone.
No, have people to talk to, and be
Especially
okay
if you're
to talk.
A young kid, right? Like, if high school, there's a lot of negativity that they carry inside, and you got to let it out. It just festers inside.
Yeah. And that's one thing we said, is always be okay to talk with us. We'll never judge. We'll never question. We'll do 24-hour rule. Mom maybe do 25-minute rule, but...
And sometimes you have to... sometimes something's up as a parent.
You always do.
And I think you have to talk at them instead of with them, because they're not open to it. And it's uncomfortable and it's tricky. And I remember being on a car ride and knowing something was up. Knowing something really serious was up. And like, just talking. I think I talked for 3 hours straight until...
You got something, that little bit.
And there were tears. And then that was the crack open. Not that I was able to get in the door.
Yeah.
But I knew I was being heard. And I knew it was sitting in there. And sometimes you just have to do that.
Yes, you do. But that's wonderful to be able to do that. A lot of people, like, I think our generation, maybe we were afraid to talk to our parents about stuff. I was afraid to talk to my parents. But my mom was pretty open. My mom was actually pretty open. My mom was more open than my dad. My mom was always like, if you need anything, come to talk to me. I wouldn't, though. But that's just the truth. I never talked to my mom because my mom was very judgmental about a lot of things. So for me, it was like, whatever. So I felt like I dealt with a lot of stuff by myself, but I didn't want that having my own kids. I wanted to be the person they spoke to. I wanted to be the person that could help them. I wanted them to feel comfortable enough at any situation to be able to come to me and say, hey, Mom, I don't feel good about this, or I need help with this, or can we do this, or this is what's gone on and I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, so for me, that has been our rule in our house, is that open, honest, we're here for you. Let's talk about it and we'll deal with it together as a family.
And how do you measure up when it comes to you?
Probably not the same. Not the same at all. Like, maybe I should take my own advice, right? Don't Do I feel comfortable enough to tell people things? Certain people, yes. Certain people, no. I'm very fortunate to have Paul. I feel like I tell Paul everything. He's my best friend. He is my go-to. When it comes to business, I talk to my dad a lot. I find comfort with my dad. I tell you a lot of stuff. I just feel not judged. Like, to me, that's the most important thing. Not being judged for what's gone on, right? And I think we judge ourselves a lot. We do that a lot. And you sit in that sometimes, I believe, and you're like, okay, I'm going to tell Donna this. What is she going to think? And I know deep down that you're never going to be like, oh, you like one way or another. So for me, I'm always comfortable to tell you because you've never ever made that judgment. I don't tell everybody everything. There's a couple girlfriends that I feel comfortable telling things to, but I don't feel.
Well, and the last thing you want to feel like is a whiner, right?
Yeah.
And I think we all have that about us. Like, I mean, there's some people that love being whiners.
Yes. I feel like sometimes I am, but then I'm like, no, you don't talk about it enough. Then I go into my own self, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody. Mm-hmm. I need to deal with this myself.
I think we do that a lot.
And that I know I do. I know. When I get quiet.
I think it is, totally, right? You pull it in.
Yeah.
Pulling it in, shutting it down, and that's the danger time.
It's lots of danger. And you start thinking about it, and then you start second guessing yourself, and then you start, is this right? Is this wrong? What are people going to think? And then the self-doubt, the judgment comes in, and then it's like this one big
spiral.
Big circle, and you're like back to where you started, and you're like, oh, why didn't I just, tell someone? Or why didn't I just talk to someone? Or why don't I feel comfortable enough to talk to somebody? And you should, and that's where it's good, where if you can't talk to anybody, is that you have a professional, you have someone there, and it's okay. Like, I can say this, and I know Nathan would never be upset for me saying this. Nathan went through a really hard time when we lost my father-in-law, and he needed to see a doctor, and he asked for that. And I was like, what? I think he was just about to turn, why do I want to see 18? Like, just before he turned 18. So maybe like 6 months before. And he said, Mom, I want to go talk to someone. I'm like, really? And I was like, holy shit, I wish I was like that. Like, that's one thing with Nathan. There was this thing on Instagram today, and it's like, your child's sign, what does it mean? Or like something like that. Like how, and I read it, and it was Nathan and Lucas to a T. Like, so different ends of the spectrum in terms of how they react, who they are. Nathan, I always say, lives in a cloud. He is the happiest. He is outgoing. He doesn't worry. He's like stress-free. I wish I was like that, but I wish I was more brave like him. Like, when he asked for help, I was like so proud that maybe I raised that, right? Like, that's kind of what we taught him, and he felt comfortable enough to ask for help, and he went, and I was like, holy shit, good for you, kiddo. Like, good for you for asking. Mm-hmm. So yes, I can teach it, but I can't teach myself it, right?
Well, and I think, we grew up in a different generation, right? So, but also we feel we have to be the mom, we have to be the wife, we have to be the business owner, we have to make it look like we got our shit together all the time, got it going on, and that we are unbreakable. And I think that's total fallacy. We are, human, we have limits, we have emotions, we fail, and we're okay to be, we should feel it's okay to fail, and it's okay to like not be there for everyone all the time, and to be able to shut down and just block everything out instead of being something for everyone. Yeah.
That's where those boundaries come in, right?
It is, yeah. And it's important to have that network around you that you can talk to somebody else with. Because when you share that load, it gets lighter. Other people are helping you, right? Oh,
yeah. Yeah. And you're right. You are. And I think you have to have those core people in your life that you feel comfortable enough. There's another woman that I tell a lot of things to, and I met her when I was working out, and she was a trainer, and we've just had this constant connection. And I remember we were going through a really hard time, and similar to her, and we were able to talk to each other about it. And it was like we felt comfortable enough to share that, and it felt good to have someone to talk to, right? Because when you hold it in, it's horrible feeling, and you just eats away at you, and then you get sick, and then it's
it brings you your darkest days.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to have someone to hold your hand or to snuggle with or to like
just listen,
write in the journal and listen. Yeah. Right. Like there are so many ways to get through some of those darkest days.
There are. That's why I have you.
Well, and that is the collection of jewels that you build your friendships with.
Yep. You're right.
Because they'll bring that sparkle when your days are gray.
Yeah. It's hard though. It's hard to be human. It's hard to be human. It's hard to be, from my perspective, a woman. It's hard to be a mother. It's hard to be a business owner. It's hard to have all those things going for you and still feel like you need to be put together. And that's where that being authentic and genuine, and it's okay. Today I'm not going to work, or guess what? Yeah, I took a Tuesday off, or I took a Friday off, or you know what? I'm not going to work this week, or whatever it is. It's okay, because that's normal. It's not normal to keep going. It's not normal to
not be able to get out of bed.
Yeah.
It's not normal to like not brush your teeth every day and be able to put on and shower and like those are moments where you need some help.
And once again, that's where social media has been great. I think the mental health awareness
talking about it
all the time for men and for women, both sexes, or whatever.
Because I don't think men talk about it near as much as women.
They don't. And my husband doesn't, I'll be honest with you.
They have to struggle the same.
They just keep it all in.
Yeah.
I know my husband does. He keeps it all in, and then it's like, but that's the one thing that I think we've done really good over the last years. We've opened communication lines. Even though we've been together forever, I'm just like, this is how I'm feeling, and I want you to explain how you're feeling. It may not be what you want to hear, but I need to tell you how I'm feeling so I don't keep it in and then blow up and go like mad.
Well, and we do process differently. Like Sean and I process very differently. Yeah. And it drives me Nucking Futz sometimes, right? When I'm trying to share my emotions and he's just like, okay, and then what? It's like, no, I need to sit in this, and I need to percolate, and I need to be sad, and I need to cry,
let me have the emotion,
right? And he's like, okay, let's go, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready to go yet. Like, I need to be in this sadness and feel it and work through it. And so sometimes that's a little challenging trying to
but that's why you're so good for each other. Is because you're so different, like in that respect, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel like with Paul and I. Like, I know that I said to him, like the other day, I was upset about something. I said, I just need to tell you something. And he goes, what? I go, I don't need your opinion. I don't need you to give me a fucking answer back. Yes. I don't need you to say, like none of it. I just need to tell you how I felt in that moment. And I told him, and then he started saying something. I'm like, nope. Shut up. Mm-hmm. Like, do not say anything. I don't need your fucking opinion. I just need you to know how I'm feeling so I don't sit in it for too long and I don't go crazy. Like, I need to tell you, because if I don't tell you, I'm just going to get mad and more mad and more mad and more mad. Yeah. But if I tell you now and I go through the motions and then you give me like a few hours, I'll be good. Just give me the time. Yeah. And so I've learned to say that to him. And I've been better, I say, in the last year to 2 years, and say, hey, just let me tell you this. I need to tell you how I'm feeling, because if I don't, it's not going to be pretty in like a day from now. Especially
as entrepreneurs, you're both entrepreneurs, times it's not 9 to 5. It's 24/7. No. Ships passing in the night. And so you have to be able to do that.
Crying out loud, we had date night Friday night at the arena setting up jerseys. I'm like, what are we doing for dinner? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, let's go have a quick dinner and then let's go set up the jerseys. And literally, that's what we did. And that's the only time we really had together this week, was like 3 hours on a Friday night. It's important though to take that time, and it's important to say things to one another. And I still haven't really learned that fully, but I've learned that to do that more.
I find when it gets too much, I will write it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm a writer. Like
Ooh.
I've always processed
Like
emotions.
a brain dump for emotions.
Yeah, that's how I'm much better with writing than with speaking. So I can articulate and then I can get it down. And if it's something I need to say and I'm struggling, like pass the notes in class.
Here you go.
But, not doing those things kills that relationship.
It does. I think it's made us stronger the last little bit. You say that you write notes. That's smart.
It's like journaling. Right?
It is.
Basically.
I've sent it in text messages. I don't know if it's the same context, but I'm like, let me just tell you this. But I can see how that helps. For me, I do brain dumps all the time for work because if I don't write my work down, okay, yeah. I know you and your computer and your schedule. That's like your Bible. But for me, it's like I need it handwritten. I can't have it in my phone. I need to write things down. I need to be able to cross them off. I need to be able to use multiple colors and make it fancy and pretty and all that sort of stuff. So I do that, but I need to do it more. And I've learned that.
One of the best little tricks that I did was, those happy jars that you have?
Yep.
So when the kids were little,
I remember.
They made me a happy jar and I loved it. Like I loved it. And I still have it somewhere. It's packed in a box still. But it's something that I did probably 6 years ago. I put it on my phone and it's Donna's happy jar and it's by year.
Oh, wow.
And every now and again, I'll go through and I'll think about the month or the week or whatever, and I'll put down these things that made me happy.
Oh, that's smart.
Like it could just be a road trip with Sean, or like sitting on the beach with my mom at the cottage, or the
that's
gala
a great idea.
that we put on. And then I have 6, 7, 8 years now of these happy jars on my phone that I can go, and it's like a memory.
That's wonderful.
And I'm like, I love this.
Yeah,
so
you should make little books like that. You can. That's another idea, but you can make like the happy book and happy. What a good idea!
Happy jar.
Yeah,
my happy jar.
That's smart. I like that idea.
Because you're always on your phone. It's the middle of the night. You're thinking, oh yeah, remember that? I should put that in my happy jar.
But then you can. We don't do that enough, right?
We don't.
Like we just are in the moment as people, as mothers, as entrepreneurs, as wives.
Or
you're in the moment.
You get stuck on the negative, right? And this is
that's
the balance.
A great idea.
Bring in the positive. Let's focus on those positives and finish on a positive.
That's a great idea. I love it.
So happy jars.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna put it on my phone today. I think that's very smart.
Pink hearts.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. That's a great idea. Someone else
wasn't my idea.
I know, but I heard that. But I heard that somewhere, and they're like, even if it's just like I like the color of my nails, or that made me happy today, or I was able to sleep in an extra 15 minutes. That is still a positive, happy moment, right? And we don't
walk, sat down by the water, drink my coffee.
We don't do that enough. We don't dwell on the happy moments. We always dwell on the negativity, the self-doubt, the things that make us sad, the mad moment, the what is this person doing moment, what's this person said, but it's never like, let's just really look at how many happy moments happen in our day. Smart. I like it. I'm going to put it in my phone today. My phone today. Thank you.
I'm going to say, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, you got to make a chubby woman your wife. Okay. I think that was great.
Yeah, it was good.
So much, because it's a tough topic.
So tough,
right? And it just you don't want to break in. There's like so many things that you get through.
So I started following some people on Instagram. You got to tell me who to follow on Instagram, but I also have to tell you something about Instagram. I started following a lot of like body positive people, and I started following a lot of female entrepreneurs, and then I started following a lot of people that you follow through She's Got Legs, and kind of mixed them. I also went through our Facebook page and invited my friends to our Facebook page. So right now I think we have like 30 people following us on Facebook, which is great. So you have to do that on your side. But if there's anybody you think that we should follow and talk to, or to just start putting feelers out for, let me know. There's a young woman, her name is Erin something, just so you know, I'll tell you right now, and she said to me, I'd love to be on your podcast. So she messaged us and asked to be on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
So, we can talk about it, and we could reach out to her.
As we learn.
Yeah, I said to her, we're just learning. We're just like starting to record. And I was like, cool. She's in Toronto. She says, I like what you do. And there's another woman that messaged us today and was like, oh, I like what you guys are doing. I like your name and that sort of stuff. And she's also body positive. So
it's that collectiveness that just, It's okay. It's totally okay.
I wish we had it when we were younger,
right.
though. I wish I had that representation when I was like going through all those thoughts when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, like as you're becoming a young woman, like an adult.
Can you imagine if we influence everyone to become chubby?
I mean, that would be great. That would be great. I just want to tell people, just be yourself, right?
Exactly.
And not give a shit about what other people.
Because I know there's tons of, like, you know, skinny people. I think of my Aunt Joy, who is like this, and she is always like, she has so many issues trying to find clothes that fit her because she's so tiny.
Do you follow the Birds Papaya, Sarah Landry?
Yeah.
Like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's the first person I started following that talked about like just body positivity, right? Having
and the journey with mental health around it.
Yeah, and then Alicia McCarville, who I love her
She's
to
hilarious.
Death. She's the best.
She just clapped back on some people.
I love it. And I love that she does that, right? She's like, okay, well, let's talk about these people. And then there's this other guy, if you ever, I've started following, I think it's like, I'm 6'7". He's,
and he's trying to find tall people.
He's just talking about like how people talk shit about women at different sizes. And there was like a woman dancing and she's like, first of all, I wish I had an ass like that, but she was like dancing and she's like full figure and she was like dancing this reggae, and he's like, and what do you got to say about that? He's like, look at her shake. Like, he talks about all, like,
when you see women shine in their body, and I bought a bikini last year because of
Shut
so
the
many
front door, girl.
So many
good for you.
Influencers that were out there in like, and I'm like, okay, so it's only for me.
Good
and
for
I
you.
wear when no one's around.
Good for you.
But I did it, and I was like, you know what? Like, I am not
You're right.
waiting.
Right. And that's like, I love social media for that, because I feel I get braver because of people like that, because of people like you, and starting the podcast and talking about this stuff. I think I have probably felt the most comfortable in my own skin since you and I have been talking about this in the last 3 months or whatever. Yeah. Like, I didn't feel as confident as myself. And now I'm kind of like, fuck it. Like, really fuck it. Like, honestly and truly, because this is
tired of the bullshit around feeling bad around it.
That's good for you. Oh my God, you're so brave.
And yet, like 3 weeks ago, living in self-doubt. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm not in a good headspace about this, but I'm going to do it anyways.
I'm like, what was that? You're fit. Never mind. Nope. I'm just going to live in your energy, Melissa.
Yep, I am.
No.
Yeah.
And I went to Pennington's the other day. I actually filmed a reel, and I haven't posted it yet, but I bought 3 blazers, like these black blazers I was wearing. So I bought like one size 24, and then I was like, because I'm 24, right? Like, my tits are like 35 or something like that, and blazer size, I don't know. And I bought the 24, and I was like, oh, doesn't really fit. And I'm like, that's kind of shitty. Like, that's, anyway. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to order a 26 and a 28. And I ordered both of them. And I'm like, because I can return the ones that don't feel comfortable. So I put on the 26, and I'm like, oh, I like this. And I put on the 28, and I'm like, nah, feels more like winter jacket, a little too big. And then I tried them all on, and I'm like, want to make the reel where it's like, just wear what makes you feel comfortable. And I've really come into that the last little while. Yeah.
When we do our sizing, we're generous in our sizing, because I don't want anybody to feel bad when you put something on. Right? And it's the worst feeling.
It is the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling, thinking that you're one size, then you put it on, you're like, well, I'm like, that's like 5 sizes too small for me. Like, when did I grow an extra 3 inches in my boobies or something like that? But and that's I went even to Pennington's the weekend, and I returned 2 of them, and I walked in, and I was like, oh, you have some really nice sweaters on sale there. And I was like, well, returns justifiably a shopping spree, right? Yeah. And I was like, sure. So I bought like a couple. I didn't even like question it. I said to the lady, I want a 3X on the top, and she's like, okay. And she goes, what color? And I'm like, one of everything if it fits. And I was like, I bought 3 of the same shirts in 3 different colors. And I was like, I didn't really care.
That when you find the thing that fits, and you're like, yes, I need all of them.
Oh my God. It's such a great feeling.
I did that with a pair of shoes.
I can't find shoes.
Are my platform shoes. I can't think of the name, but they're a floral sneaker.
You were wearing them in the video.
Yes.
Yeah. I noticed them in the video.
Love them. And I have another pair on standby. Yeah. For when these are like too dirty and whatever. Yeah. So, and they.
It's like when I was buying shoes.
Sean's like, why do you have 2 the same? I'm like,
because.
Back up.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was like, yeah.
You always need it.
They're going to stop making them.
I love high heels. I used to wear high heels all the time when I started real estate. And then when I did my rebrand, like when I was doing my branding, I was like, oh, they said you need high heels. You can't always wear flats. And I'm like, okay, fitting into a box that maybe I don't fit in. So I love Jimmy Choo, and I know Jimmy Choo fits my feet because they're the only like luxury brand that makes like a 43. And so when I want like a nice pair of heels or a nice pair of flats or maybe an like expensive pair of running shoes, I will buy Jimmy Choo. And it's the one treat I treat myself. Like they're expensive and I have probably like 4 or 5 pairs of them, but man, oh man, I'm like, that expensive shoe fits my foot. I'm so excited. But then the other day I was like, I'm having trouble finding flats in my size. Like I'm like between like 11 and a half and 12. I got big feet. And then I saw that like Alicia McCarville was posting about this place called maybe Wider, WYDER. I don't know because they're in the States and I don't know about the exchange and the tariffs and stuff like that. But then someone else posted a Canadian brand recently and I was like, oh, I'm going to check them out. So I remember Naturalizer. You know Naturalizer? Yeah. That's where I got these from. Naturalizer. Oh. They have a size 12 and they go up to size 13. And I was like, oh my God. And I went on there and I was like, I'm going to buy them.
I'll sometimes wear a men's loafer.
Oh, that's smart.
Because it's a wider base. And, you know, if you're a 9, then you're a 7. They're off by 2
I love heels. I never wear them. I just like having them.
I'm not.
They're there when I want to wear them.
Give me my cons.
Yeah. But that's comfortable, right?
Yep.
But I like flats. And to find like for me.
I wore cons with my wedding dress.
Did you really?
Pink Converse.
Shut the front door. Yep. Really? That's awesome. I didn't know that. What did I wear? Nothing. Off-white something heels, and then I took them off because I'd rather wear no shoes. That's how I've always been. But for me, no. It's hard. I've always been like worried about looking a certain way. And I was actually, I went to a networking. Well, it wasn't a networking event, but it was like a woman invited me to her backyard event. Yeah, it was networking, right? And she's like, come, Melissa. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much for inviting me. Like, I felt really special. And I was so worried about what I was going to wear. So worried. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, oh, I hate this shit. Yeah. I'm like, I hate this. And I had bought this really like simple, I think it's linen pant set and top from Pennington's. And I bought it because Alicia McCarville was wearing it. And I think I had 2 colors. She had it in the rust and she had it in this beautiful green. I love those colors, but I'm still not that brave. And I went and bought it in black. I bought it for when Paul and I went to Montreal. And then I'm like, I'm going to wear that because we're going to be outside on the summer night. And I was so worried about wearing it, right? This lady comes up to me. She goes, oh my God, I love your outfit. And I'm like, really? She goes, you look so good in that. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, thank you. I was like so shocked. And I was like,
it's important to compliment people.
Yeah. At
when
any size, right?
Something that you like, their hair, their outfit, the handbag, the way
and
that
people
they're
look good at any size,
yeah,
right?
Any
like
age,
and everyone deserves a compliment,
yes.
And everyone deserves that they look pretty or look handsome or whatever they are. That looks good on them. Their hair color looks good on them, or their shoes or whatever it is. We don't do that enough to people. We always think that people have to be a certain size.
Good to others.
Always. You have to. Thank you for joining us today at the Nucking Futz podcast.
If you like this podcast, please share by liking and subscribing. Feel free to leave any comments and reach us at hello@thenuckingfutz.com.
Just a reminder, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. If you are struggling, know that you are not alone. Please reach out for professional help.
You can join our newsletter at thenuckingfutz.com to follow our journey. Looking for Donna at work? You can find her great leggings and leisure wear as well at She's Got Legs.
Looking for me, Melissa Hall? You can reach me at Brag About It Jewelry or I am Melissa Hall for real estate.